Hey guys, Prat7 here with a very different type of video. Well, first of all, sorry for the lack of content recently. I mean, my last couple of community posts pretty much explained it. Yeah, I had exams that went on a trip to the US for 2 weeks, but I'm back now. And at the end of my most recent community post, I did say that when I get back, I'll make some sort of content that will make up for the lack of content. It's going to be quite different from my normal type of video. So this video is basically going to explain what that is. So I've heard about this Algicosathlon thing, or however you're meant to pronounce it. I've heard about it from a few people, seen a little bit of it on the internet. It's kind of like there's a group of people, contestants, but in this context they're sometimes called athletes, and they compete in a series of events, like maybe like obstacle courses, for example, and like each round someone will get eliminated. Basically, whoever's the last one wins. It's kind of like that. Sometimes there's a point system as well, so it kind of depends on how many points each person gets. And it's like maybe at the end of each round, a person with the lowest amount of points might get eliminated. I mean, it kind of varies depending on different people, and it seems to come from some software called Algodo, where it's basically like a software to explore physics and stuff. So people have seemed to do this Algicosathlon Tournament thingy on there as well before, but this is going to be different. So normally these athletes that compete aren't like real people. Usually people just make them like colours and stuff, like, I don't know, red, blue, green, yellow, lime, and so on and so forth. And I mean, like, no one, like, it doesn't involve real people, and like no one exactly has control over it, except I guess the creator of the game. But sometimes they'll just put these athletes in those sort of physics simulated courses, like those obstacle courses, and then they'll see who wins. So it's kind of like that. However, this time, basically what it's going to be is it's going to be sprint based. So there'll be a certain amount of lines got to clear. Sometimes we'll have like different rules as well, like, well, not rules, but different settings, like gravity or no hold, or those are just examples. And basically what it will be like is, let's say there are 5 people, I don't know, let's just call them person 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know. And I will basically do that sprint run on person 1, like it'll all be me, but it will kind of be them. I'm not really sure how to explain it, but like, I'll do a sprint run, that can be person 1's time, then I'll do another one that will be person 2's time, then 3, 4, and 5. And I'm not going to be biased towards certain contestants or anything like that, so but there will also be no resets allowed, so if I misdrop I can't reset, I gotta keep going. However, the twist to this is that you guys are going to be the contestants if you want to apply. I mean, I'll be playing Tetris, like, it'll all be me, so you won't have control over it. However, you can enter your names for this tournament thingy. But going back to the person 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thingy, just to explain how it works. So I will play the sprint run on person 1, who might get 35.352 seconds, and person 2 might get 33.167 seconds, person 3 29.895, person 4 38.639, and person 5 34.893. So if we arrange these into the order, the times, this will be it. Except in the real thing, instead of simply just person 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it will be the names of you guys. So I'm looking to maybe get 20 contestants, so if you want to apply, it's pretty simple. All you gotta do is leave a comment on this video telling me you want to be in Algicosathlon. Like explicitly state that you want to be there instead of, because if you just say pog or cool or something like that, that doesn't exactly tell me whether you want to apply or not. So like, if you want to apply, leave a comment stating that you want to be in Algicosathlon. But if you're feeling shy and you don't really want to comment on a public video, you don't want people to find your YouTube, whatever reason, you can DM me on Discord as well if you want. I mean, here's my Discord tag. This is my first time doing anything like this, so I have no clue how successful this is going to be. But if I get less than 20 people, then I will probably fill in the remaining spaces just using like random colors, like how most people do Algicosathlon. Like I'll put something like red or green or whatever color. But if I get more than 20 applications, then I'll randomly select 20 from that list. So if you don't get selected, I'm sorry, but it'll be a random selection if there's more than 20. But if it is pretty successful, then I might do a part 2 in the future. So if I do a part 2, then basically people who have been in part 1 will not be allowed in part 2. There's also something I want to hear your guys' opinion about. So I'm thinking of like 3 different modes, yeah, I guess I could call it that, of how the sort of point system, elimination system, how that works. So I'm thinking of 3 modes. One of them is points, one of them is elimination, and one of them is points and elimination. There will be a poll to this linked in the description about which mode you want to choose, and then whichever's the most chosen will get selected. You can select an option in the poll though if you want, regardless of whether you applied for this or not though. So let's talk about the point system. So if you're just voting points, then that means no elimination. The whole thing is just based on points. So depending on how you do in each round, this is how many points you'll get for each round, depending on your position. So then the main thing that matters is the total amount of points that you have over all of the rounds. If I end up doing the points mode, then there's going to be 10 rounds. Now let's talk about the elimination mode. So in this mode, basically whoever places last in each round gets eliminated. So like the results of the previous round don't really affect the next round. So someone could come first in one round, and then in the next round they could come last and get eliminated. So that's the elimination mode. If the elimination mode is chosen, then there will be 18 rounds in total, because the final round I'm planning on having 3 people, and if one person gets eliminated each round, then there'll be 18. And lastly, the points and elimination mode. So basically we'll be using the same points system from before that I showed, but also whoever has the least amount of total points at the end of each round gets eliminated. So there will also be 18 rounds if this mode is chosen. So each round of Algicosathlon is gonna be its own video, which is why I said it'll make up for the lack of content, since there's gonna be either 10 or 18 videos basically of this. But I'm not really sure there's a kind of schedule for when each of these will be, so just kind of keep a lookout. And also they aren't gonna have me speaking. I might just put music in the background or something, I don't know. So to summarize the important stuff, this will be on Tetrio specifically, and this is sprint based, where each round will have different settings. I will play the sprint round for each person, so that means there's no exact control from you, but I promise I'm not going to be biased towards anyone, and also if I start a game I cannot reset it, I gotta finish the game. Select your mode by voting in the poll in the description. Apply by leaving a comment on this video or DM me on Discord. If there are less than 20 applications, I'll fill the remaining spaces, but if there's more than 20, I'll randomly select 20 people. Please apply by the 17th of July, 10 PM BST, or UTC+1. I think I've got all the relevant information needed in this video, but if you have any other questions, feel free to ask me. And with that being said, thank you for watching, and I hope to see some applications for this. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you. Bye.